There's this paradox most of us fall into in our 20s and 30s. We work our tails off, pinching every single dollar to put into a savings account, genuinely believing we're being responsible adults and doing the right thing. But then one day, you look at that balance and a reality hits you. Saving gives you stability, but investing gives you freedom. That illusion of safety from just hoarding cash won't actually save you from the expensive reality of modern life. The sooner you combine both, the more bulletproof your financial future becomes. Here in the US, saving alone doesn't build wealth because interest rates are so low that your money is basically just sitting there doing nothing. Meanwhile, investing, like in an S&P 500 index fund, can create a massive difference over the long haul thanks to compound growth. Think about it for a second. If you let your money sleep, earning a measly 1.1% APY, your purchasing power is quietly evaporating. But if you put that money to work in the market with a historical average return of around 11% a year, the magic of time turns it into real wealth. In this video, we're going to walk through the brutal financial mistakes of our youth and a safe 5-step roadmap to transition from saving to investing. It's the rocky journey and ultimate wake-up call of Solo, a young guy who was confused and stuck in the trap of fake financial security, just like a lot of us. So grab a cup of coffee, pull up a chair, and let's dive into how Solo flipped the script to win back his freedom. Let me tell you a story, and when I'm done, you might just see a reflection of yourself in it. This is the story of Solo. Meet Solo, a 30-year-old, hard-working office guy right here in the US. Throughout his 20s, Solo prided himself on being super frugal and disciplined. While his peers were out maxing out credit cards on luxury vacations and limited edition sneakers, Solo chose to meal prep at home and pinch every single penny. He managed to scrape together $22,000, parked it in a savings account, and felt incredibly secure. But you know what? That feeling of security is sometimes just an invisible illusion. All of his financial beliefs started to crack when he came face to face with a brutal economic reality. Solo began to realize how inflation was literally eating his money alive. Let's do a quick comparison. Back in 2020, $110 could get you a shopping cart full of groceries. Today, that same $110 barely fills 2 plastic bags. That difference right there is your purchasing power evaporating into thin air. Solo learned the hard way. When your cash just sits in a bank account earning less than 1.1% APY, it's not safe at all. It's actively being drained by inflation every single day. From a basic economic standpoint, when the money supply increases, the intrinsic value of every dollar bill goes down. That absolute safety Solo worshipped had suddenly turned into a trap. His big wake-up call? Not investing is actually the biggest risk of all. That fear of watching his hard-earned money slowly vanish pushed Solo right to the edge of an even more fatal mistake. Because when people panic, logic goes out the window, and they start looking for shortcuts to soothe their emotions. Terrified by the dropping value of his cash, Solo went online and immediately fell victim to peer pressure. Like many of us, he saw people flexing their massive gains from crypto and meme stocks on TikTok, and the FOMO, fear of missing out, hit him hard. Behavioral psychology calls this the herd mentality. When you see everyone else making easy money, your brain pumps out stress hormones, forcing you to jump into the game at any cost. Blinded by greed and pressure, Solo made a super impulsive move. He dumped half of his painfully saved cash into day trading, hoping to make a quick buck and catch up. But the financial markets are never a charity for amateurs. The brutal aftermath? The market crashed, and Solo lost a massive chunk of his money. Watching his account balance vanish in the blink of an eye, he was completely paralyzed. Yet, from rock bottom, he took away a priceless lesson. The lesson? Successful investing isn't anything like those crazy Hollywood movies about Wall Street. If you find investing to be super thrilling and heart-pounding, you're probably just gambling. Let me pause for a quick second and ask you guys something. Have you ever found yourself in Solo's shoes? Seeing friends flex their profits online and rushing to throw your money at stuff you didn't even understand? Let me know your story down in the comments. We've all been there. Anyway, back to our guy. At 30 years old, Solo felt like he was too late to the party and was filled with regret. He kept beating himself up, thinking the door to financial freedom had slammed shut forever. But then, by pure chance, he stumbled across the Time Machine case study comparing two investors, Sarah and John. Listen closely to this because it might just change how you look at money forever. Sarah started investing $220 a month at age 25 and completely stopped at 35. John, on the other hand, didn't start until he was 35 and invested consistently all the way until he was 65. Using basic logic, you'd think John, who spent 30 solid years grinding and contributing, would be way wealthier, right? Surprisingly, even though Sarah put in way less of her own money, she still ended up with more cash at retirement than John, all thanks to the power of time. That is the magic of compound growth. By giving her money an extra decade to grow, Sarah created an exponential snowball effect that John simply couldn't catch up to with sheer brute force. Reading that story pulled Solo right out of his long nightmare. He finally woke up. He realized he still had time, but he had to take action right this second. The only time it's truly too late in life is when you realize you're doing it wrong, but still choose to just stand by and do nothing. After the storm comes the sun, but only if you actually pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start rebuilding your own roof. The collapse of his get-rich-quick illusion brought Solo crashing back down to earth. Thanks to that wake-up call, after losing his money and learning some incredibly expensive lessons, Solo calmed down and applied a safe, 5-step roadmap. Now, this isn't some magical formula full of empty promises that will make you a millionaire overnight. Instead, it's an awakening, a complete redesign of your financial mindset from the ground up that anyone in their mid-20s to 40s right here in the US needs to seriously consider. The first step is also the most foundational, yet so many proud young folks skip it because they think it's too basic. It's about building a shield. Step 1. The emergency fund. Solo took a step back and set aside 3 to 6 months of living expenses into a safety bucket, an emergency fund. Why 3 to 6 months? Imagine you're cruising down the interstate at 77 miles per hour and suddenly you blow a tire. If you don't have a spare, your entire road trip is instantly ruined. Adult life is just as unforgiving. There will be times when you suddenly get laid off from your company, or a massive medical bill unexpectedly lands on your doorstep. This money is designed to protect him from life's curveballs, like losing a job or getting sick, so he never has to panic sell his investments. When you know for a fact that you have a soft cushion to fall back on, you walk down the investing path with a much calmer and steadier mindset. Step 2 is a brilliant behavioral psychology trick that financial pros use all the time: mental separation. Step 2. Separate your mind. Solo split his money into 2 distinct buckets: the safety bucket, which doesn't fluctuate and is just for emergencies, and the growth bucket, which is allowed to go up and down to build wealth. As humans, we are inherently fragile and easily driven by our emotions. If you mix the money you need for next month's rent with the money you're taking risks with in the stock market, every time the market flashes red, your brain will instantly trigger the highest level of alarm. You'll completely panic because your subconscious thinks you're about to be evicted. By setting up this invisible but solid boundary, clearly separating the two dramatically reduced his anxiety. Solo realized that if his growth bucket dipped a little bit today, it wasn't the end of the world, because tomorrow he still had food on the table and a roof over his head, thanks to his safety bucket. Moving on to step 3, we're going to smash the biggest barrier to procrastination together. So many of us constantly lie to ourselves, thinking investing is some luxury game reserved only for the ultra-rich on Wall Street. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Step 3. Start with small amounts. You don't need thousands of dollars to start investing. You can start with just $55 or $110. According to personal development experts, the initial goal is to build the habit, not to chase massive immediate returns. It's exactly like deciding to hit the gym to get in shape. You can't just walk into the gym and bench press 220 pounds on your very first day. You have to start with the smallest dumbbells so your muscles and nervous system can get used to the new rhythm. Once the habit takes deep root in your lifestyle, The amount of money you invest will naturally grow over time without you even realizing it. Step 4 is where we have to face and overcome the flashiest temptations of the digital age. When we first step into the financial markets, our egos are usually huge. Everyone wants to be the next boy genius. But the hard-earned lesson is in step 4. Keep it simple. Stay far away from complex, high-risk strategies like day trading or crypto. All that shiny stuff is just a dopamine trap that will drain you both financially and mentally. Solo shifted over to index funds, a method where you invest in hundreds of companies all at once, which automatically diversifies your portfolio and lowers your risk. With this strategy, he didn't have to stay up all night straining his eyes reading every line of a financial report, or vaguely guessing which tech company might go bankrupt tomorrow. He simply owned a tiny but solid slice of the entire US economy. He framed his mindset around "boring is the new sexy" to reinforce his belief and prevent himself from quitting when his portfolio grew slowly. The boring, repetitive nature of it is actually the true beauty of sustainable wealth. Genuine investing has never been a breathless Hollywood action movie. It's real and simple, just like planting a seed in the dirt, watering it every day, and patiently sitting back to watch it grow inch by inch in silence. Finally, the 5th step is the most powerful puzzle piece that determines your entire future of freedom: discipline and time. After moving past the impulsive moves of his youth, in step 5, discipline and time, Solo realized that the absolute strongest investing strategy is actually incredibly boring. Invest consistently every single month and let compound growth do its thing over decades. Never rely solely on your own willpower, because science has proven that willpower is a limited resource and gets easily depleted after a long, exhausting day at work. Instead, he set up an automated system and took full advantage of his company's 401k match. Did you know that a 401k match is literally free money? If your employer agrees to match a certain percentage and you're not contributing enough of your paycheck to max that out, you're just throwing thousands of dollars out the window for no reason. By setting up automatic transfers the exact second his paycheck hit his bank account, Solo completely stripped away his own ability to have a moment of weakness. He prioritized paying for his bright future before he even had the chance to blow it on useless stuff today. Solo's journey isn't some path paved with roses or fairy tale magic. It's a profoundly deep self-awareness of human nature and the rules of money. Financial freedom has never been some impossibly distant finish line. It truly begins with the small, seemingly tedious, but highly disciplined decisions you make today. So what about you, my friends? Which step are you currently on in this 5-step roadmap? Are you building up that emergency fund, or have you already started throwing those first few bucks into an index fund? Drop a comment down below, share your story so we can chat about it, and let's keep moving forward together. Once you have that 5-step system set up, don't just assume everything is going to be a smooth, straight line to the top. There will be days when you wake up, turn on the morning news, and see the entire screen drowned in stock market red. The talking heads will be screaming about a recession, and everyone around you will be panic withdrawing their money. That is exactly when you need an absolute iron mindset regarding market crashes. The 30-year-old Solo now carries a completely different mentality. He finally grasped the historical truth that market crashes are completely normal and cyclical. Instead of freaking out and running away like he used to, long-term investors like Solo actually see this as a golden opportunity because their monthly investments will buy way more shares at drastically lower prices. It's literally like going Black Friday shopping for valuable assets. The core key to weathering these storms is this: think in terms of decades instead of stressing over day-to-day fluctuations. Looking back at his entire turbulent journey, from a guy who just hoarded his savings account book to finally finding true financial peace, Solo wants to leave you guys with his 3 best pieces of advice. Number 1, remember that the biggest wealth gap isn't between people who save and people who spend. It's between people who only save and people who know how to invest. The real divide is whether or not you give your money the chance to go to work for you. Number 2, if your strategy feels too thrilling, you're doing it wrong. Sustainable investing is meant to be boring. Stop trying to be a hero timing the market and just let automation and time do the heavy lifting for you. And the last piece of advice, which is also the most expensive lesson we can carry for the rest of our lives. Saving gives you stability, but investing gives you freedom. The anchor of savings keeps your boat from flipping over in a storm, but only the sail of investing can push you out into the open ocean. You see, the journey to freedom doesn't start with one giant leap. It starts with small, steady steps. The sooner you combine both, the more bulletproof your financial future becomes. You save to build a rock-solid foundation, and you invest to build a launch pad that takes you to the next level. Whether you're in your 20s, 30s, or even your 40s, time is still your absolute best friend in the US stock market. Don't sit around and let inflation keep stealing your hard-earned cash. Taking action today, even with just a few bucks, is going to create a massive ripple effect for the rest of your life. And to help you jump right in without feeling completely overwhelmed, I've put together the perfect stepping stone just for you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to get your free gift, my ebook, The 7-Day Financial Declutter Challenge, and to stay up to date with more actionable tips on managing your personal finances. This little guide is a step-by-step roadmap to help you get your wallet back in order in just 1 week, clearing the path for your next smart investment moves. Thank you guys so much for following Solo's journey and spending your valuable time hanging out with me today. Stay focused on your road to financial freedom, and I'll see you guys in the next video.